Sip of water. So I'm going to clear the chart. We'll just start over. So yesterday or Friday, I say yesterday because that's just how it looks on the chart, but Friday, as we both know it, there was only 2 levels that we kept on the chart or that we added this morning to kind of give ourselves an easier chance of understanding direction, because that's really all we're looking for first, and then we can bite down on those that micromanagement. You know, oh, this is where I'm bullish and bearish from, awesome, and then you see something bullish or bearish pop up, and then you take action. Basically, that's how this works. So the only thing we added from Friday or yesterday is like to say the high, and it's mainly because we like to grab the open, but that's basically the same level, so we're just going to add the high. And then the other cool thing, and you're going to love using this tool after I show you it, but this little symbol here, you're going to want to click that, Fibonacci retracement, and we're going to go from the high to the low. And this looks like I'm doing some fancy shit, but I'm really not. I'm really just going from the high to the low, and we're adding this 50% level, which is 622.82. So we're going to add that, edit that, delete that, edit it. 622.82. Okay. Then we're going to delete that fib because we don't need it. We just need that level. And what this tells us, essentially, is if we're above this, we're a little bit more bullish than we are bearish. If we're below this, we're a little bit more bearish than we are bullish. And that's just how that works. Same thing with this level here. Same thing with what I'm about to show you next. So to the next thing, and this is probably the greatest thing in our whole strategy or in our playbook, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We really don't have, we just don't care. But go from your previous day close, or in our case, our Friday close, to our today's open. Why are we grabbing that? Why are we grabbing that? Why in God's green earth am I grabbing that? Because we can go to the daily to see a little bit easier of a picture here. So you see how we went from here's the open of this day. Let me start from here. We'll do 2 days. Here's the open of that day. Here's the close of that day, right? Here's the open of this day. Here's the close of this day. But where's the open of this day? Way the F up here. So that means from here to here, we gapped up, right? And from here to here, we gapped down. So there's actually 2 pretty significant gaps. And I'll show you something a little bit extra at the end here, but I just wanted to make sure we all understand that, because it can be a little bit to kind of watch when things are moving like this, when your adrenaline's going. You know, it's definitely easy to forget some easy shit. So all we're gonna do is go from this day's close, and we're gonna mark that gap up from here to here. That's all we're doing. So I'm gonna go to the smaller time frames to do that, but I just wanted to show you from the daily what that looks like and why we're doing what we're doing. So we're gonna go from the previous day close to today's open. We're gonna mark. Well, actually, we don't have to mark anything. We can just leave it. But the big important thing, this is what was highlighted earlier. Sorry, I'm trying to make it easier to look at. The 50% of this day, so that level that we added earlier, from the high to the low of this day, this level here, and then the 50%, which is the same exact thing as this level. It's just of a different thing, right? This was of a day. This was of a gap up, right? So that's all we needed. And so essentially what this whole area is telling us is if we're above it, we're more bullish than bearish. If we're below it, we're more bearish than bullish, right? What do the other ones tell us? Well, these dotted lines here, and this is why I said you can go back in the stream and check this out as well, or we can just go over it again because we've done both now. These 3 levels here, this dotted line, oops, and this dotted line are just targets. They are nothing else. Just targets. They are targets of the gap up. So from here to here, as long as we're above this, these are what we should be aiming for. So if we've pushed through one, made it to the second, should I still be actively looking for longs right here, right now? No, probably not. I should probably just sit on my hands and wait, because the move has happened, right? And if it does go up more, whoop-de-doo, maybe we catch a minuscule trade right here, maybe we don't. But that's not really the conversation here. And then the cool thing I wanted to show you, the extra thing, I say advanced, but it's really not, is the same thing, right? We're just going to do the same thing we did from here to here, but from here to here. And we're not going to add everything, right? I'm not going to keep every single level that I'm throwing up, right? We're just going to throw up that 50% because we've slowly learned that this 50% has magic. It is literally magic. So we're going to delete that fib now, so we don't have all that extra junk on there. And now you can see, okay, there's actually multiple things telling us that we're at a pretty nice resistance now. We've made it a pretty good distance from this open. So when you said you were trying to short at the open, I instantly was like, okay, I think I could understand why, but I wanted to show you why you shouldn't have been, just based on things you could have drawn on your own. I don't like to sit here and go over things that aren't that realistic, because it's just not fun. And who the fuck wants to be, you know, that review Andy that's always afterwards going, well, I could have done this, I could have done that, I could have done this, I could have done that. It's like, yeah, you could have been born perfect and born with a golden arm and born with trillions of dollars in your bank account, you know, all these unrealistic things. Yeah, I could have learned to fly, you know. It's just no point in going over it, because it's not going to help you, because it's not realistic. So I like to go over realistic things when I review things that I could have had set beforehand, and then I could try to work off of that. But you should definitely focus on just key levels. That's a really big thing that we work on here in this group, is just, like, there are a lot of ways to get good levels. Don't get me wrong. I could think of at least 2 to 3 ways just from my own strategies that you could consistently draw them on your own without anything unrealistically affecting them, right? Where it's like, oh, well, afterwards you could have done this. Yeah, that bullshit. Which we need to come up with a term for that, so I don't have to keep explaining it that long. But overall, you need to come up with just key levels to work yourself from. And then, like, for instance, right here, this is why I said, like, the more micromanaging side of things for when you're actually trading is I'm probably going to zoom in on this right here. And I'm going to try to see, all right, are we above this or below this at the open? And I saw right at the open, first 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, and you could go back in the stream and see as well, we were just bullish. But I wasn't actively getting into a trade because it was just an open range move in the first 10 minutes. That's not really fun to get into. And this could have easily have rejected and done the exact opposite and moved back down, and then I would have been sitting there crying. I mean, I wouldn't have cried. Real men don't cry. Not me. Never. But yeah, so I hope that helps. And again, like I said many times, you can also go back in the stream and kind of just test me on my bullshit, see if I'm lying to you or not. But you'll see everything that I just said just now, I also covered basically at the market open. And this is to give myself and anybody watching direction, right? I'm not going to ever sit here and be like, all right, guys, let's jump into the SPY 429 calls at 0.27 and let's hold them. Set stop losses. You should learn this. You need to learn these things so we can be efficient as we update together. If I'm going to sit here and have to trade for you, what's the fucking point, you know? So we don't teach like that. We don't do call-outs like that. Yes, you will see me call out, but not in that same sense that you see everybody else do it. Because that's just wrong. It adds unneeded pressure on me. Might even add unneeded pressure on you. And it just makes everything ugly. No problem. Let me catch up on your messages now. Sorry, I was just yapping. Let me see, though. No problem. I'm just trying to make money to make a difference. Can I pay you to teach me? No, just chill here if you want. You don't got to pay for anything. Every dollar I make, I give away. No. You don't got to do that. You should have more followers. You have a nice approach in the rest of Blast Music. And the rest Blast Music, and then wait till the move happens, and then claim to give advice. No, if you watch my streams, I don't know how to shut the fuck up. I'll be honest. Like, I genuinely sit here and I'll let like 5 or 6 minutes of silence go by, and I feel so awkward. I'm like, oh my god. And I also said, I don't care how many people are in here. You know, if I'm yapping to 10 people, if I'm yapping to 100 people, I don't care. But yeah, thank you for saying that, though. I appreciate that. VC, you said, Hefe, if SPY is struggling, Tesla will affect it. I bought Tesla 300 Pro before. Ooh, you did take the idea. See, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't sit here and call out anything. I just said I think Tesla's going to have bad timing with SPY, and it probably will lose this support again. Now, I never once sat here and said it should go down here. We said if it is going to go down, this is where it should go, right? So I never once sat here and called it out. You can't even see the air quotes I'm throwing up. VC, round of applause for VC, everybody. Taking action on his own. Not sitting here and trying to be like, oh, what contract should I get? What should I do here? What should I do there? Like, heard the mention, heard the context, went to go look at it on his own, took action on his own. Round of applause for VC, everybody. That is genuinely so fucking badass. Good shit, dude. And I always love congratulating you guys because it genuinely is all on you. There's not one part of that where you were like, well, Bueller did this and it's all because of Bueller. No, it isn't. It's because of you. Did I mention it? Sure. But any jackass could have mentioned a chart. Good job, VC, taking action, figuring out what you were going to do on your own.